अरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी राग ते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। Yesterday we completed that chapter on शास्त्रों के अर्थ करने की पद्धति, the method of understanding the meaning of religious text. Another name could be method of interpretation of scriptures. So it is very important that whatever is given in the scriptures, how do you interpret it? So in this reference, we had discussion on two topics. One was the real point of view and the conventional point of view. The second one was for exposition. So now you know if a statement is given from the real point of view, what does it mean, how much weightage you should put on it, and if a statement is coming from the conventional point of view, then what kind of weightage it carries. You also know that each exposition has its unique style of presenting the things. So a Prathman Yog or exposition on stories and biographies, you know how does it interpret things. It has got a distinct style. It relates to the character of great people like Shalaka Purus and all, and their biographies and their life stories, and through them they inspire us to get into the path of liberation. Okay, and they also show you the fruits of merits and demerits. If you are manifesting a auspicious sentiment, then what will be the fruits? And if you are manifesting a inauspicious sentiment, then what kind of fruit you are going to have? So based on that, the stories are very interesting, and so some people who are not very, I would say, expert in grasping the knowledge of these elements, they might be interested in those kind of stories, and through stories they get motivated, and they also feel that they should also follow this path of liberation, and that's how they get connected to the path of liberation. The next in line was Karnan Yoga, or exposition on technical matters, and there we have seen that it deals with three major things. One is the different kinds of classification of Jeev, or the living being. Then there is spiritual stages of development. There is a karma theory, and then there is a margana sthan. All these are part of Karnan Yoga, and it has also got its own distinct style. The third one that we discussed was exposition on conduct and ethics, Charnan Yoga. This is, I am repeating what we have done yesterday. This is just a revision, because that chapter is completed from the textbook point of view, but I am going to add something to it, and that you have to write it down so you better be ready with your pen and paper. So the third exposition was exposition on conduct and ethics. And there are two kinds of instructions given over there. One is for those people who are not very proficient in understanding the nature of elements. So they are only instructed about external wars and other external activities. And then there are some people who can grasp the instruction from real point of view. So those kind of people are given instructions with real point of view as well as conventional point of view, both together. So these forms the main content of Charnan Yoga, and there what is the right conduct for a householder and what is the right conduct for a monk. These are all given over there. So when a question comes up, what should I do? So then the answer will come from Charnan Yoga, that you need to do this, this, this. If you are at this stage, then you do this. If you are at this stage, then you do this. So it's all given over there. So then the last one, we coming to the last one, that is Dravyanu Yoga, or exposition on nature of substances. Okay. Or it is also called exposition on metaphysics. Okay. So in Dravyanu Yoga, there is a main message on the path of liberation by practicing discriminative knowledge. Okay. So the types of substances, like 6 types of substances are there in this universe. That is also a part of Dravyanu Yoga. And then there is nature of 7 fundamental elements, Sat Tattva. That is also a part of Dravyanu Yoga. So anything and everything that leads to discriminative knowledge is all about Dravyanu Yoga. So now you know real point of view, conventional point of view, and you know these 4 types of exposition. Okay. So now you can interpret anything and everything, whatever is given in the scriptures. Now, yesterday I had given few examples. We had worked on it. Now we will also look at one example where I would like you to put in all the 4 exposition at one place. Okay. Now, we had done this exercise earlier also when we studied the chapter in Vitrag Vigyan, chapter 4, about 4 Anuyogs. Okay. 4 Anuyog. So at that point, this example was given to you, and it was also a part of concept clarity also, I suppose. But this time again, we are going to repeat it, and I will just see whether you remember it or not. Okay. So Darshit ji, I'll start with you. Now, supposing you have given on credit in your business some material to a party. Okay. He is a friend of yours and he has been a regular customer for you, and you have been giving him goods on credit, and subsequently at the due date he used to pay you. So as usual, he placed an order on you and you have supplied the material. Now he is not paying you in spite of repeated follow-up and reminders. He is giving excuses that his money has been struck up, these, that. Now you are in a dilemma. What is to be done? He's not giving the money also, and he's not responding also, and he's not giving any commitment also. So now, what would you do? Okay. So you think on from the perspective of 4 exposition, okay? And you only tell me what is the benefit by thinking in this way. So can you try, Darshit ji?
Yeah, Jinendra. Okay. First of all, I think I would look at the Karnan Yoga.
No,
And
first will be always Pratman Yoga. We have a sequence, Pratman Yoga, then Karnan Yoga, then Charnan Yoga, and Dravyan Yoga. This sequence
okay.
will be in Moksha Marg Prakashak when we study the 8th chapter. Pandit Todarmal ji has taken up this sequence, and even if you take some other sequence, I don't mind, but this is how you should follow, or you can follow any sequence. Now it's not important. So you went from Charnan Yoga, right?
No, I was going to go to I was coming to Karnan Yoga.
Okay. You would start with Karnan Yoga, no problem.
Okay, I think I'm doing it in reverse, kind of, because Karnan Yoga would mean that it's karma based.
Okay.
So it must have been my past karmas coming into play.
Okay.
So that it's not paying me. And Charnan Yoga would be to do with the fact that ethically that person is not following the ethics of what's right in life, conduct and ethics. When I gave him the goods and why he's not paying me. So to understand that this was supposed to happen in terms of the influx. Pratman Yoga, I don't know how to say that in this example, but I think it's just the story that you're given would be the Pratman Yoga. Sorry, you're mute.
So in Pratman Yoga, you can have references of some characters in Pratman Yoga who in the past had similar kind of problems, So we may not connect because this is an example is such that this is related something to business, but otherwise also people who were also religious minded, they also had similar kind of problems. So that is Pratman Yoga.
Okay.
And from Dravyan Yoga?
Yeah, so Dravyan Yoga I was saying would be to do with for our own discriminative knowledge, like to have the right faith that this situation was going to arise. So to have that bed gyan, that so for us to practice the bed gyan, to have the discriminative knowledge.
Okay. Anything else that you can think on Dravyan Yoga?
Yeah, so I guess it's to do with just trying to think.
So you can
sorry.
On Krambat Paryay?
Krambat Paryay would be sequence bound modification, right?
Yes. So this has to happen. My loss was there to happen. So this has happened. And then one more thing. These are all just images reflecting in your knowledge. I have nothing, no relations, I am a soul and my primary function is to just see and observe. Okay. To see and know. Darshan is to see and Gyan is to know. So my primary function is to see and know. So if there is anything that is reflecting on the screen, I just know it. Nothing else.
So in short, we're saying that we are not getting entwined with the situation.
Pardon?
So in short, what we are trying to say is that we are not getting entwine. આપણે ગૂંચવાઈને જ જાતા એમાં.
Yeah, so that are just reflecting. You don't indulge in that. That's all. Okay. And all the modifications that are supposed to come on the screen of yours, that is all prefixed. It is just coming one after the another. When the time comes, these things automatically comes up on the screen. Now, if you know this technology, then you are least concerned. It's another object for you. That's all. There's nothing else. Okay. And if you are not able to practice this discriminative knowledge, then what you will do? You will get involved in it. You will get depressed. You will tell so many people that, such and such person has done these, that, whatever. Okay. So these are all the things from Dravyani Yoga. Okay. So for you, as a soul, you are just a knower. It has no way affected you. Okay. But if you become a doer, then of course it is affecting you. So this is from Dravyani Yoga. From Charnani Yoga, you can also think of that I should have taken good references of him, whom he has dealt in the past, and how he had been paying and how long you have been knowing him and everything. There are a lot of factors that we take into consideration when we are giving some goods on credit to anybody. Okay. We should look at his credentials. That's all. And Karnani Yoga, of course, it's karmas uday, influx of karmas, and also there is antarai karma. That's why you're not getting the payment. Okay. So there are many karmas simultaneously putting up its functions, and that is all from Karnani Yoga. And of course, Pratmani Yoga, there are many instances these things have happened with many people, religious people also. There has been cases of cheating and everything in Pratmani Yoga stories. So you can relate any of the stories. Okay. So this is how, when you put this thing on, when you think on the same problem from 4 different perspectives, you are now in a better position to take a call, to take a decision. Okay. And if you would have thought from only one exposition, say for Dravyani Yoga, then what would have happened? Now Charnani Yoga is teaching you your mistakes, that you should have taken reference and all. So if you would have thought from Dravyani Yoga only, the things would have stopped there, and you would have again made the same mistake. But now you know the Charnani Yoga, now you know the Karnani Yoga. So you are looking at the same thing from different perspectives. Now, if you look at Taj Mahal from one angle, and if you look at Taj Mahal from 4 different angles, does it make a difference? Okay. So when you look at it from 4 angles, you know the complete picture. And so now you know the complete picture. So although you have made a losses, but at the same time, you can be rest assured that you have learned a few things. And this was only a small amount, but I'm giving much big amount to other people on credit. So I should follow the same techniques, and I should not be get influenced by greed, for the make of making profit. But what is the use of making profit if your capital doesn't come? So that is the main preaching that you are getting from here through Charnani Yoga. So you see, now you are, after applying 4 exposition, you are in a better position to take the decisions, business decisions. Similarly, you can apply this 4 exposition on any event happening in your day-to-day life, and you will realize that it automatically creates a balance. Okay. So what has to happen. You have to accept it, and you have to learn from the mistakes, and you have to move on. So easy. So this is how it helps you when you apply 4 exposition on the same thing. So this was, does anyone from among you still want to go for any more examples, or you are quite okay with, you have quite rightly understood what I'm trying to convey? Priyanka ji, you would like to try?
Sir, one example, sir.
Yeah. So you have to only try now. Okay. You have a kid and she's going to school, and now the final result has come and she has got poor marks. Okay. Now, from 4 exposition, you have to think on the situation and what outcome you will get from each exposition that you have to relate.
So, sir, for Pratma Niyog, we will look at the stories references, like when things don't go the way we like to them to happen, then what can we learn from those stories?
Right. So do you remember any Pratmanyug stories where, similar things have happened? So there are many stories. People have failed in their like studies also. People have failed in their fightings also, and there are many instances. Okay, Pratmanyug. Okay. So next.
So next is Karuna Niyog.
Okay.
So this one I don't know. So this is where I get stuck.
Karuna Niyog is karma theory, no? It's your asata uday.
Okay. Yeah, karma uday. So
Yeah.
maybe my daughter's karma uday was not proper.
So what your daughter's karma uday is there, it's a different thing. Now we are talking about you only. So you are a mother of your daughter. So again, yours also is a karma of uday.
No, but sir, it's not happening to me. No, it's happening to her. Like she
But
didn't
you have an attachment to your daughter, no? So
okay.
indirectly you are also affected, and indirectly you are also responsible, because she is a now kid. So what she will understand, it's your responsibility. You have to teach him properly. You have to follow up with his studies. You have to get a good teacher on board. So all these are your responsibilities. Now, if you take him every day to a movie, if you take him every day to a party, then when she will study? So you also need to, you have some responsibilities. That is your own responsibility. Okay.
So sir, I was thinking in the sense like I did all the efforts that I had to do, and then I detached. Like whatever it is on her.
So Karnan Yog and Charnan Yog also. So whatever I said now, that was all from Charnan Yog, that you should have taken care of and all. So that is all Charnan Yog. And the karma's part is your karma also has come into fruition, and her karma is also come into fruition. Okay. So you should think of your own karmas first. Okay. So that was now 3 are settled. Now we are left with Dravya Niyog.
And Charuna Niyog was like what I should have done to
this was all,
get her good marks. And
Yeah.
Dravya Niyog is just Gyata Drashti. Is just to observe and not react.
Yes, very good.
Instead of like, getting mad at her, giving her a timeout, grounding her, I can just.
So this word that you said, cannot react, that is a very good word, and that is what we want from Dravya Niyog. If you are practicing discriminative knowledge, then of course there will be no attachments and no aversions, and that is what we said, that you don't react. Just accept it, just know it, that's all. So in this way, if you think, now you are not blaming the teachers also, you are not blaming the student also, your daughter also, you are not blaming yourself also. Okay. At the same time, you are learning from your mistakes also, and now you are more focused for the next semester, coming up semester. Now you will be more alert, will take more interest, and you will see that she attends a good teacher as a tuition and all, whatever it be. And because of this learning, she will do good in the next semester. And that's how we learn from our mistakes. Okay.
Okay.
So by putting 4 exposition at one situation, you are now in a better position to balance that out, So in terms of sentiments, you are not spoiling her sentiments. In fact, you are in the same situation, you are trying to attain the equanimity. That is vitrakta, passionless. Okay. And that is what you said just now, not reacting to the situation. So this is how we use this. And then there is another thing that also can create a balance, and that is real point of view and conventional point of view. So these two we have studied in detail, and this is only that has formed the part of this chapter. But now there are other things that I would like you to write down, and those also can be applied, and you will come across this kind of things in some other scriptures also when you read it. So the first one is about multifaceted view of reality. Anekant. Okay. So the substance is multifaceted. Multifaceted means it has got infinite qualities. Okay. And to understand that infinite qualities and the nature of that substance, the methodology that is being used is called Syadvad. Syad means kisi apeksha se, Vad means कहना. Okay. So depiction of reality using point of view. Okay. So the substance itself, it is multifaceted. It has got so many different kinds of qualities, attributes in it. Now to understand those things, you have to have depiction of reality using points of view. You have to use points of view to understand those qualities. Okay. Now the next point is the point of view. So the point of view is very important, and there are different points of view as given in our scriptures. One is the real point of view and conventional point of view that we already studied. Then there is one substantive and modal point of view. Dravyarthik Nyay and Paryarthik Nyay. So Dravyarthik Nyay looks at things from the viewpoint of substance, Dravya Drashti. And there is a Paryarthik Nyay, which looks at the thing from the modification point of view. Okay. So this we will study in detail. We have full one paper on this in the 6th Sem, but just you know the names now. We don't want to go deep into it now. The third one is among the Nays only. There are 7 Nays that we are going to study in Tattvat Sutra. Okay. So those 7 Nays are there. So it is another type of Nay. Then we have Saptabhangi. Saptabhangi is also a type of Nay or the point of view, and it is called sevenfold predication. Sevenfold predication.
So can you please repeat
Saptabhangi. Saptabhangi. Okay.
Saptabhangi.
And in English, it is called sevenfold predication. Now the next is 47 Nay. So in Pravachan Sarji, these 47 names are given. So these are 47 points of view. Now, why these 47 points of view are there? Because we have 47 types of attributes that is given in Samaisar. Okay. In Samaisar, in the end, in the annexure, it is given 47 names of the qualities. Okay. So Gyan, Darshan, Sukh, Virya, Prabhuta, Vibhuta, these are all the names given in the qualities. So there are not only 47 qualities in us, we have infinite qualities. But 47 names have been given by the Acharyas in Samay Sar. Okay. So these are different types of Nayas that we will study during the course of 5 years. And that is all from the point of view logic. So you should know the point of view, otherwise you will not be able to interpret the scriptures correctly. Now, third in the sequence is there are some sermons that give advice, and then there are some sermons that give you facts. Okay. So one is for giving advice and one is for facts. Now, you have to understand this sermons is from which viewpoint, whether it is giving me an advice or whether it is stating me a fact. Okay. If it is from giving you advice and you consider it as a fact, then you will not be able to have a correct interpretation. Okay. So you will make a mistake. So you should always know from which perspective it is coming, whether it is for giving me advice or whether it is depicting the facts. Now, there will be general statements and there will be specific statement. Okay. So you need to identify which one is a general statement and which one is a specific statement. So if you consider the specific one as general, then also you will not be able to have a correct interpretation of the scriptures. Then the fifth one is there are some primary point of view and then there are some secondary point of view. Okay. Mukhya Kathan and Gaun Kathan. Okay. Mukhya is primary and Gaun is secondary. Okay. So at one point of time, there will be one thing that will be highlighted and all the other perspectives will be secondary at that point of time. Okay. So this was one. Then there is depiction through distinctions and depiction as a whole. As a whole is abed. Okay. And depiction through distinctions. Now there is this rumal. Okay. Handkerchief. Now you can see this handkerchief as a whole without any distinction. And then you can see at the same handkerchief, the substance is the cloth. Then there are attributes in this cloth. Okay. There are some threads and through this thread, the cloth has been made. So these are all qualities. It has got color. It has got taste. It has got, different qualities. So you have substance, you can look at from qualities, and then you can look at from the point of view of modification. So now if you are separating these three viewpoints, substance, attributes, and modification, it will be called depiction through distinctions. And if you are looking at this handkerchief as a whole, then there is no distinction, just an handkerchief. So there are different statements, okay? So you have to realize from which perspective the statement is coming, whether it is from the whole point of view or it is from the distinctions point of view. The next is Agam and Adhyatam. Agam is universal science and Adhyatam is spiritual science. So you have to identify that this statement is coming from universal science or spiritual science. So when we talk from the perspective of the soul, it is always the spiritual science. And when we talk from the perspective of the 6 substances that forms the part of universe, It is always the universal science. Then there is a statement from prominence of belief versus prominence of knowledge. Okay. From which perspective? So there are some statements where the belief is more prominent. Okay. We talk from the perspective of the belief. Shraddha gun. Okay. Drashti pradhan kathan it is called. And then there are some statements which are from the knowledge point of view. Gyan pradhan kathan. So one is drashti pradhan kathan, Shraddha point of view. The other one is Gyan, knowledge point of view. So there can be a difference between the two. Now, there is learning the principles versus truly applying them. Okay. So there will be some statements where it is for you to learn the principles. And then there are some statements which you need to apply it. Okay. Apply it in your day-to-day life. So unless and until you apply it, there is no point in understanding that principle. Okay. That means you have not understood. If you would have understood the principle, you would have easily applied it in your day-to-day life. The 10th is the method of reading the scriptures. Okay. So how to do swadhyay? That is also very important, to understand the scriptures. So there are two viewpoints to this method of reading. Okay. Method of reading the scriptures, swadhyay. There are two viewpoints. One is, both have 5 distinctions, 5 steps. One is vachna, read. Puchna. Puchna means ask. Then the third one is anupreksha. Anupreksha is contemplations or reflections. Okay. Machna, puchna, anupreksha. Then there is amnaye. Amnaye means to learn by heart what you have studied. And the last one is dharmopdesh. After you go through these 4 stages, then you are in a position to preach others. And that is also a part of swadhyay. Okay. So this is one way of explaining the swadhyay. Then there is another way. And in that, there are also 5 things. First one is shabdarth. You have to understand the meaning of the words. Okay. Shabdarth. Then there is a matarth. Matarth means it is coming from whose religion point of view, whether it is from Jain point of view, or it is from Vedant point of view, or it is from Bodh point of view, which one? Okay. So that is also you should know. Then there is a Shabdarth, Matarth, Nayarth. Nayarth, which point of view, which Nay, whether it is from real point of view or it is from the conventional point of view. So this is Nayarth. Shabdarth, Matarth, Nayarth, Agamarth. Okay. From which perspective of the scriptures, Agamarth, universal science. Okay. And the last one is Bhavarth. Bhavarth means what is the conclusion. By knowing all things, what you are concluding. So you must reach the conclusion level. Then your swadhyay is complete. Okay. So these are the 5 steps of swadhyay. So you have two different methods of swadhyay.
Sir, kindly excuse. This Madartha means regarding the belief, no? Which belief according to this script?
Yeah, which belief, from which religions belief?
That religion and
Buddhism, Buddhism.
Yeah. That Shad Darshans in that angle.
Yeah,
Am I correct? Sir, in the whole points is how to understand the text reading, how to understand the
yes.
all the 4 exposition in a right way. Is it correct, these points?
So 4 exposition and the real and conventional point of view, that is already given in the textbook. Now,
Yeah.
what I'm saying right now is the additional features that you have to look at. you know.
Yeah, while doing the
Why you should know this? Because otherwise you will not be able to interpret the scripture's meaning.
yeah.
If
So
you're not able to interpret, then you will
uh,
have wrong meaning. Your doubt will not go. You will never achieve samyak jnana.
yeah, it's very nice points. Really, how to go with it is very important. Just with these points, you have to approach the 4 exposition and
Yes.
understand it in a right way. It's very nice. Very nicely you have compiled it.
So this is all the research that I've been doing it, and that I'm sharing with you. So Swadhyay, and then their 11th point is Kriya, Parinam and Abhipray. Action, sentiment and intention. Okay. So there are some things which will be told you from the action point of view.
Kriya, can you repeat please? Kriya,
Parinam and Abhipray.
okay.
There's a whole book written on this by Pandit Abhay Kumarji Devlali, and in Moksha Marg Prakashak Granth, in the 7th Adhikar, these 3 terms have come, and we will be studying in detail about that in that chapter. Okay, but that will be around in the 8th Sem. But still, I've just given you the names. So there are something from the action point of view, there are something from the sentiment point of view, and then there is something from the intention point of view. So intention is very important. Yesterday we were discussing on ethics. Okay, so in ethics also the intention is very important. Now you have an intention that you will not tell lie. Okay, but still in some cases you might say lies. Okay, but your intention was not there. But just to cut it short, okay, so your kid was telling me, Mommy, this is like this, no? So you know that she will not understand right now the whole meaning. So yeah, right. So your intention was not there to tell you lie. But since you know that she will not able to understand this right now, so you just avoided it. So intention is very important. So here your action was of telling lie, okay? And your sentiment was also of telling lies. But your intention was not there. And the bondage happens because of intention. 99% bondage happens because of intention. Only 1% happens because of sentiment and action. Okay? So now you know these 3 things: Kriya, Parinam and Abhipray. Abhipray is intention. So Abhipray is very important. So what we do, we don't try to improve action. We don't try to improve sentiments because those are not in our hands. Okay. But the intention is in our hand. You can have a correct understanding, okay, by putting in right efforts, by understanding the thing from 4 expositions. Now you know many tools, many tools. You can apply any of those and you should have a very clear-cut understanding. Now with this clear-cut understanding, even if you indulge in those actions, still the bondage is very less because you don't intend. Okay. So clarity on intention is very, very important. That's how the bondages happen. Now, somebody,
Sir,
I'll give you one example. You ask me.
sorry, sir. So that's the thing. So charity. So charity is a good thing.
Right.
So charity is a good thing. So that will create. Sorry. Okay, wait.
Let her listen, no problem.
So only listen, sir. I won't show.
No problem. You carry on. I'm understanding. No problem.
Okay. Sir, like charity we do. So
God, can you please put the screen?
Okay. So this is called Antarai Karma.
So now I should not react.
No, yeah, you have not read it. She is a kid. So she doesn't have the capacity to understand that I'm disturbing my mom, and so she doesn't understand. So just
So,
yeah.
so sorry, sir. So if we do charity, then charity will actually create some bondages, but we should not have any bondages, right?
No, let it create a bondage, but that bondage will be of auspicious nature. Okay. And now if you are earning, then you should set aside 10% of your net income, not gross income, but your net income. You should set aside, and you should use it in charities. So that is a principle of a businessman or a job, whatever you do it. So we do charities on a regular basis, but you should budget it, and then you should look at where I can use best use of my money. Okay. So that way you should look at it, and doing a charity is a part of every day of our life. So best is when you go to the temple, we always put coins in those box, So that is one part. And then the other is where you do you help out some sadharmics, she's in need of some money or financial crisis is passing through. So you can always help it that way. Then there is a temple coming up somewhere, so you can donate money there also. There is a religious shibir coming up somewhere, So there also you can donate, So these are the different modes of donations. And this being a householder, donation is very well a part of our day-to-day activity. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Now there is one more important point. There are 5 inherent causes. Okay. The other day we studied Nimit Upadan. Okay. So that Nimit Upadan, that can be depicted in a different way, and that different way is called 5 samvai, 5 samvai. Okay. So there are 5 causes. The first one is swabhav. So swabhav corresponds to Trikali Upadan Karan. So one is swabhav. Swabhav is the nature. Okay. Then the second one is nimit. So nimit both common. In Upadan, in Nimit Upadan also it is called nimit, and here also it is called nimit. So any action to happen, these 5 factors will come into play. So one is swabhav, one is nimit, one is kal labdhi, proper time, kal labdhi. Then the one is bhavitavya. What is this bhavitavya? Bhavitavya means whatever has to happen will happen. When? At that particular time. Okay. So putting both these together, bhavitavya and kal labdhi, tat samay ki yogyata. So we studied tat samay ki yogyata in Nimit Upadan. Okay. So that tat samay ki yogyata is this bhavitavya and kal labdhi. So now you know 4 samvais. One was swabhav, one was nimit, one is bhavitavya, one is kal labdhi, and one is purusharth. Okay. Purusharth is your efforts. Okay. So for any action to take place, these 5 causes will be there. Okay. But there is a limitation to talk. I can explain you from one perspective only at a time. If I'm talking of efforts, I'm not talking of nimit, I'm not talking of kal labdhi, I'm not talking of bhavitavya, I'm not talking of swabhav. But if I'm talking from the nimit point of view, then I'm not talking about efforts. So the talk will come from one angle. But you have to understand that this karya has happened because of 5 causes and not one cause. Okay. So again, this will balance out. There will be no reaction. If you know the 5 causes, and the statement may come from any of the causes. Okay. So there will be only one statement. either it is from Nimit point of view or it is from Kal Labdhi point of view. You know, there was this Bhagwan Mahavir Swami, he got omniscience knowledge, Keval Gyan ho gaya, but there was no Divya Dhvani, divine sound. For how many days? For 66 days, there was no divine sound. And everyone was waiting in the Samosaran that when the Divya Dhvani will come out, then the Divya Dhvani will come out. Then the Indira realized that there is something wrong. So with his clairvoyance knowledge, he understood that this is just because there is no Gandhar. So if the sermon has to come, then there will be someone who can catch that sermon. And that is the chief perceptor, that is called Gandhar. So he went to that Gautam, Indrabhuti Gautam, and he asked him 2-3 questions. Okay. And he made himself in the guise of a Brahman. And he asked those questions to him. And he could not answer. And he thought that if this disciple is such an intelligent fellow, then how the intelligent guru will be? So he thought that I will meet that guru and I will get the knowledge from him. So he told that Brahman that I will give answer to your guru. So let's go. And that Brahman had already come there to, call him only. So they both went to the Samosaran. And as he entered the Samosaran and he saw the man's thumb, and this Indrabhuti Gautam was a very great scholar and he had 500 disciples, but he was a Vedanti. Okay. So he had immense pride on him and he thought that he is the most knowledgeable. But when he come to the religious congregation or the Samosaran, he saw that man's thumb and his man got eliminated. And he realized that he is a true God, Bhagwan Mahavir. And then he accepted him as his guru. And that's how he became a principal perceptor. And then the Divya Dhvani started. For 66 days, there was no Divya Dhvani. And when Gautam Gandhar came and accepted that post of chief perceptor, okay, Gautam Gandhar. So there Gandhar should be there. So Gandhar came and the Divya Dhvani started. So, I was giving this example that there will be 5 samvais. Okay. So now why the Divya Dhvani was not coming? Can you give me the reason? Among the 5 causes, what would be the cause? Why people had to wait 66 days to listen to the divine sound of the Tirthankar?
The Kal Labdhi.
Yes, very good. Who gave this answer?
Jinali.
Very good, Jinali ji. I appreciate your presence of mind. So among the 5 causes, the Kal Labdhi was not there. So the Nimit was there, the Tirthankar itself, and then there was this nature was also there, and there was what has to happen, but this Kal Labdhi was not there. So it was not coming out. And as Gautam Gandhar came and the Kal Labdhi happened and the Divya Dhvani came out. So we could talk from one perspective only at a time, but there are other 4 perspectives also, which is also forming the part of that action. Okay. So for every action, there will be 5 causes. You can tell it in the language of Nimit Upadan, the one that we learned. Okay. And you can tell it from the perspective of 5 samvai. This 5 samvai we will be learning in Krambat Paryay. Okay. But now I've just given you a hint. So you should know that from which samvai the statement is being made, and you should see that this is not the only cause. There are other 4 causes which are hidden, and if you are able to understand it this way, then there would be no reaction. Okay. So no reaction means equanimity, means vitrakta, passionless. The 13th point, there are some statements from the subtle point of view. There are some statements from the gross point of view. So if it is a subtle statement and if you consider it as a gross, then also you will not be able to interpret it correctly. So you should have this knowledge. The last one, the 14th one and the last one, there are some words which has got multiple meanings. Now you have to see the context and then you have to choose the meaning to get the correct understanding. So this is very common. If you search a word in Google, you will have at least 10-15 meanings in English. Okay. Now which meaning is, and those meanings, if you see the words, these are quite polarized meanings. One will say something else, the other meaning will have another outlook. Okay. So you need to see the context from which this word is being said, and depending on the context, you have to choose the right meaning. Okay. So that is also going to interpret, you will have a correct interpretation. So if you consider all these 14 points, additional points, apart from the 2 that has been given, then you will have a correct understanding of the scriptures. And if you understand it correctly, then you can apply it correctly. And if you apply it correctly, you will be a happy person always. Okay. So this is very important. The main problem is that people are not able to interpret the correct meanings of the scriptures. And that's why, now I'll give you an example. So supposing I was passing through a road and I saw you eating pani puri on the roadside from a pani puri wala. Okay. So I would say you, okay, you should eat homemade foods, because these people, you know, they don't even filter the water, and they are not that hygienic also. And on the road, there are so many particles coming on this food. And if you eat this kind of food, then there are chances that you will fall ill, you will catch up some disease. Okay. So then you will tell me that, sir, you don't know that soul doesn't eat. So you may say this answer. So now how you are going to interpret? That is the question. So I am telling you something from the Charnan Yoga. Okay. And you are understanding it from the Dravyan Yoga. So what will happen? You will never have the right knowledge. Okay. So this is the problem. So you have to, every time you have to balance. And if you are able to balance, then you will have equanimity in all situations. Whether it is a crisis situation in your family, in your home, or whether it is a situation of celebration. Okay. There is something to be celebrated. In both the cases, you will be calm from inside and you will try to maintain the equanimity. Will not be carried away by the celebration, or you will not be depressed by the crisis. And that is the true fruits of this knowledge. Why we are reading this, why we are doing this course, why you are not enjoying the TV program. There are so many good TV programs coming up right now. Why you are glued to this class? So this is the answer, that you will have the best of life, and not only right now, but the future is also very bright. And if you understand these principles properly, you will get liberated. This sansar will go on like this only. But we will take us out. We will like leave, we will renounce this world and we will go to liberation. Just like the Tirthankars had gone to liberation, just like the other Muniraj monks have gone and achieved liberation, we will also walk on their paths shown by them. And they were also like us someday, but they followed this path and now they are liberated. Similarly, we are understanding the scriptures from different perspectives just to develop this feeling, not the feeling, but the reaction, no reactions. That is the best thing. Okay. So every moment there is something reflecting on your knowledge screen, and you have a habit of commenting on it, that this is good and this is bad, this is good, this is bad. And the one that you consider good, you develop a feeling of attachment to that. And the one that you think that this is not good, this is bad for me, then you develop a feeling of aversion to that. So either it is attachment or it is aversion. In both the cases, you are binding new karmas and you are experiencing anxiety. Okay. And this is how the bondage happens, and this vicious circle of life and death has been happening to us. And since time immortal, this is happening. Now there is a way out. We can stop this cycle. We can realize ourselves. We can have right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. And with this, our path of liberation will begin. And when our path of liberation will begin, it will go on for a few births. And then we will finish all the pending karmas that are with us. We will eliminate those karmas and we will achieve liberation. Okay. So this is our story in a nutshell. And this is what going to happen to each of us. So during this journey, you will have challenges coming up with you every now and then. Okay. So then you have two options. Either you become sad, miserable, and just suffer. And then there is another option. You apply this principle in that situation and you will be happy. Now, if you are having happiness from inside, what difference does it make? Even if someone abuses you, it doesn't make a difference, because from your inside, you are experiencing happiness. And you also know that he is not the doer of that abusive statements. Okay. He is also a God like me. He is also an observer. He may not be knowing that. That's why he is reacting by abusing me. But I know that he cannot abuse me. He doesn't know me, who I am. I am that pure soul. I am that observer. I am that knower. I am that seer. That's all. That is my function. I don't go beyond that. This is my nature. This is my nature. And if I believe it, then I am a true believer, because my nature is such and I believe myself to be such. So both things matches, and that is how the faith comes up, right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. So that's all. And that is why we have taken this human birth. We have come here with a purpose, and that purpose is to get the right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. Ratna-त्रय, सम्यक दर्शन, सम्यक ज्ञान, सम्यक चारित्र, ये लेकर हम मोक्ष चले जाएंगे और संसार चलता रहेगा. This will go on. This is not the first time that we have got this family. This has been happening again and again and again, many times in the past. If you see in Pratman Yoga, the one who was a son in this birth becomes a wife in the next birth, or becomes a parent in the next birth. So these are things keep on changing. Ravan, Sita, and Lakshman, they were both together since last 10 births. Okay. And so that connection was coming up. And that's why Ravan had this feeling of, soft corner for Sitaji, and that's why he kidnapped her. But he was a man of principle. So if Sita doesn't agree, then I will not touch him. I will not touch her. And so he didn't touch her. So then the question comes up that why Ravan did this in the first place? Because he had Mandodari and he had got 18,000 queens. So why this? So then you will get this answer that there was this karma which were coming from 10 births, and there was this connection coming up. लेन देन, लेन देन. अपन किसके साथ अपनी शादी होती है? जिसके साथ लेन देन है. फिर क्या होता है? लेन देन पूरा हो जाता है, डाइवर्स भी हो जाता है, So it is all on लेन देन. कभी किसी का डेथ भी हो जाता है, लेन देन खत्म, so डेथ हो गया, खत्म. So these are all relations are just past connections. Okay. So we had done something very good in our previous life. That's why we are having this Chinvani with us, this knowledge, the scriptures, and it is showing us the path how to get liberated. So as we search in Google and get all the things done in our day-to-day life, okay. Similarly, this Jinvani is our Google search, and he is telling us that you are Paramatma. You believe in yourself that you are a pure soul. You are only an observer. You believe it. So if you are accepting those things, then you are the owner. You are owner of those qualities. And if you are not accepting and if you are returning those advices, then nobody can help you. So we have been very lucky, and all the good lucks has manifested. So we have access to this true God, true Dev, true Shastra. Okay. True God, true Guru, and true Shastra. This is very rare. This is the Vyavhar Ratnatraya. And Nischay Ratnatraya is that what we are going to manifest, the right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. So we should be happy that we are inbound to liberation. It's only a matter of time. And all our miseries, whatever sufferings that we have been like suffering from time immortal, that is coming to an end. Okay. By practicing this distributive knowledge, you can be happy in any situation. So just because you have learned it now only, you need to practice it. Okay. So if you keep on practicing, you keep in touch with Jinvani, you keep in touch with the classes, okay, whatever is being taught. So every class you will be learning new tricks for practicing descriptive knowledge. Okay. So sometimes this will work, sometimes other principles will work, sometimes other principles will work. Whatever it might be, that principle will come into your knowledge at that point of time, and you will able to manifest equanimity at that particular time, and there will be no reactions.
Sir, I would like to ask you one question.
Yeah.
Sir, you have right faith, right knowledge.
Yeah.
For your conduct, you lose control sometimes.
Doesn't matter. If you have the right faith and the right knowledge, that means that you are not the doer of that thing. So if I am not doer of that thing, if the conduct is not the right one, then what difference does it make? Because I am not the doer of that thing. I don't own that thing. Okay. So whatever action through this body, mind, and speech. Okay. Body, mind, and speech are all function of Pudgal Dravya, matter. Just as we programmed a robot and it functions so many functions, robot you have seen now, everyone knows about robot now. So how that robot operates, because it has been trained in such a manner, it has been
programmed in such a manner.
Yeah, programmed. I was looking for that word, programmed. It is programmed in such a manner. Similarly, our mind, body, and activities, whatever activities that we do through mind, speech and the body, these are all programmed. So your Shraddha, your right belief will say, don't do this thing. But conduct is different quality. So it may not manifest in conduct. So the conduct takes time, Charitra always take time. But the right faith can you have in one second, one samay, in fact. In 1 second, there are innumerable samays. So you can imagine that how small is that samay. So it happens in one samay. Samyak darshan can happen in one samay. So it is the Shraddha gun. Knowledge is Gyan gun. And conduct is Charitra gun. So three different qualities, three independent qualities, and all are one independent of another. So even if you have right Shraddha, the Charitra may take some time to come.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, sir, right faith. Sir, like right now we are learning about scriptures. So, sir, wouldn't that be like right faith?
No, you are learning it, but if you manifest it, if you contemplate on it, and then you arrive at a decision, then it is your right faith. But only listening is not right faith. That is what I want to highlight. Only listening is not right faith, even if you mug it up. Okay? And if I ask you any question, you can give me any answers immediately. Still, right faith is something different. Okay? So knowledge is different thing, faith is different thing. I'll explain you about faith in the next class. We are already, our time is over. We are above by 10-11 minutes. So I would not like to prolong today. But I'll give you one example for right faith. Okay. I'll share you in the group itself. Okay. So we will not waste time in the next class. And in the next class, we will begin with this merits and demerits chapter. So if you find time, you just revise it once, so you will understand better. Of course, there is not much thing in that. It's very simple, but still there are some points which are not discussed in this chapter that I'm going to discuss you to give you the correct picture of merits and demerits. So now my habit is such, I have formed such an habit that I would like to tell you things from different perspectives, not only one perspective. So in this book, merits and demerits are only from one perspective. But I'll give you the other perspective also, so you can have a complete understanding, comprehensive understanding of that concept. Okay. So merits and demerits from the textbook, what it is there, and then from the other angles. And through this, you will not forget it for your life, and you will always enjoy it whenever the situation comes up. So our learnings are such that it is not just going to benefit us right now, but this knowledge we are going to carry with us in the next birth also. So wherever we born there, this all knowledge that you have done the decision about, that will come with you. Okay. It is not about the right faith. Even whatever efforts you are putting it, it's all towards that right faith. And that's why some Tiryans also get Samyak Darshan. Hathi also gets Samyak Darshan. And this Jatayu, it was a bird. So he also become a Samyak Drashti. So why this happens, because we are already into this journey. And if something is left over, then it happens in the next birth. And that next birth may be in subhuman state. But still you will attain Samyak Darshan. So your efforts are being paid very much right now also and in future also. So rejoice and do the best what you can do. Whatever time is available to you, make best use of it. And if you have any questions, you can always ask it and understand it. This is the most interesting part in our life, that we have access to this kind of studies, where we are finding a way to get out of this sansar life birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. How many times we have done this? Because we are not born, we are there from time immortal. And since time immortal, we have taken so many births in all the different species. There are 84 lakh species according to the science. And we have taken birth in every species, not only one time, but innumerable times. So there is nothing new that is going to happen. We have done it time and again, many times, but we never did these studies. Okay. So now is the time to do these studies and to make decision about it. That's all. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है 9 बार नौकार मंत्र गिनेंगे Jai Jinendra. So Nidhi ji has sent message. She will submit the assignment in a day or two, maybe tonight also. And Prinal ji also, Prinal ji Tolia has also replied. And now most of the others have submitted. And there are 2 dropouts. One is Priyanka Jain from Ranchi. And the other one is the Sanchi Jain. So you'll not be able to contact him, right? Contact her. And she has not responded to my messages also. We consider both as a dropout. So we are left with 14 students, and I think almost everybody.
Sir, 1 minute. I'm Sashikala.
Yeah.
For me, that first one I will submit. That first 3. We 1, 2, 3. You asked me to submit, no? One page will do, no?
Yes. You submit it, and I will update the marks.
Yeah, mark, because my mark is the lowest one.
Don't worry about the marks.
No, because I didn't
not
know
at
that.
all
No.
important.
No,
Important
how to
is
answer, I went, okay. Then also I had to do that, what is that, myth buster, MB also I have to do, no, for each paper.
You don't worry, I will guide you everything and I will take care
So,
of it.
thoda message bhejo na, sir, I sent mera.
We will talk
Thank you.
tomorrow and explain you everything.
Okay, kitne baje ke
And
phone?
you plan it out and finish it off, okay?
Yeah, because this month I want to finish it up and go with this one.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Dhanyavad ji.
Yeah, Jai Jinendra.
So mine will come to you in some time. The last part
Yeah, I know.
will come.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Jinendra.
Yeah, it's very nicely compiled, that one, your points, how to read the scriptures, what important points in angles. It's very nicely compiled.
So you have noted down, or I will send you the, I'll write it. I'll type
Yeah, no, note किया, but आपके पास है तो post it, sir.
Okay,
And,
मेरे पास है नहीं, I will type it out and I will send you across. So no problem.
Okay, anyway, you are telling that Hindi words also, no? That has to be very helpful, because that
Yes.
only gives the understanding.
Yeah, I'll give both.
Yeah, please.